welcome back to the channel. I am getting ready today to head out and go do some baby shopping. I'm 34 weeks pregnant and we have not done, I shouldn't say not done anything, but we have not done much to get ready for this baby. However, since this is our third and it's our third boy, we do have a lot of stuff already. But funny story, right after I had our last baby, Nick and I were both like, we are done. My husband's like, I don't want to go through this again, because both of our first two very different labor stories. So if anybody tells you what to expect when it comes to having a baby, don't believe them, because I've had two so far and both of them have been completely different. But with our first, Nick was actually deployed. He was in Kuwait and he had to FaceTime the whole delivery process. And he didn't meet our oldest son until our son was 4 months old. So that was like a whole thing and it was stressful, but I mean, we got through it, and in hindsight, I'm grateful for it because it made us stronger. But then our second, everything was great during the pregnancy. My husband got out of the military towards the end of my pregnancy before I delivered. We moved, that was a whole thing, but everything other than that was pretty normal and fine. But I did end up having a emergency C-section with that baby. If you're pregnant right now, I'm not trying to scare you at all, because to be honest with you, I feel like every woman that has a child has a horror story. I shouldn't say every, but like when you're pregnant, everyone that has a horror story needs to tell you their horror story. Mine was not a horror story. It was scary. Like, it wasn't what I expected. But again, in hindsight, I am grateful that it went that way. I'm obviously grateful that everything worked out fine. But I'm also grateful because with my first, you would have told me that I needed to have a C-section. I don't know if I would have been able to do it. Like, I had so much anxiety with my first one. I already have a lot of anxiety around like medical hospital stuff anyway. I'm the girl that they have to put in the big cushiony recliner to draw blood because I will pass out. Like, I almost pass out every time they give me my IV. I hate that I'm like that, but that's just how I am. It's just what I deal with. I've never been under anesthesia. Like, I've never had to do any of that. So the thought of having a C-section with my first, I don't think I would have been able to handle it, especially with my husband being deployed. So having to have one with my second, I'm grateful that I went through that, because I proved to myself that I can and I'm capable of doing it. So I always had this like lingering thought after I had my first one and while I was pregnant with my first one of like, my God, if something happens and I have to step up as a mom and be like strong and like, do this stuff, like, will I ever be able to? Like, if I have to have a C-section with this first one, will I be able to? It was so scary to me. But having to have it with my second, I proved to myself, like, yeah, you can. Like, you are strong. You are capable of doing this. Like, you will step up when the time is needed and you'll be great and it'll be fine, which it was. However, going back to my original story, after all of that, when we were in the hospital after I had our second, he was like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go through all this again. It's so stressful. It's a lot. I mean, no matter how you have a baby, like, it's still a lot. And I'm like, I agree. I'm fine with two. Like, I'm good. So we got rid of a lot of our youngest's stuff. I would say around like when he was probably like 6 months old or so. I started getting rid of a lot of his baby clothes and even some of his like his bassinet I let my cousin borrow because she was having a baby, his swing, like that type of stuff. I was like, okay, you guys can have this. I just didn't want to hang on to it. And then when our second child was about 10 months old, I remember this conversation so vividly. I was putting him to bed. So I was still nursing at that point, and I was in his nursery and I was in the glider and I was rocking him and nursing him. And my husband came in to give him a kiss goodnight. And I just looked at him and I was like, what if we had a third? I was like, what if we had a third baby? We bought this house. It has 5 bedrooms, so we had the space. I'm like, what if we had a third? Because I just had this thought of like, I'm a third child. I have 2 older sisters. My husband's a third child. He has 2 older brothers. And I just look at my parents, and my sisters and I are super close, and we're close with our parents, and like we spend so much time together, and the holidays, and it's all of us always there, and like our kids are always there, and they grow up together. And I'm just thinking about like what I want my future to look like, and I want all of these kids running around my house. Like, I want grandkids, not to say that like all of my kids are gonna choose to have kids, but like, I want grandkids. I want a big family. Like, I want those big family dinners and a lot like that. That's dependent upon me and how many kids we decide to have. So I said that to him and he's like, well, let's do it. And I'm like, now? Like, we're gonna just start trying for one now? So we pretty much decided right then and there that we were gonna have a third one. And then we started trying. And then I found out I was pregnant literally like 2 days before our youngest's first birthday. So it only took us like, what, 2 months to actually get pregnant. And I was pregnant. And we were so happy, we were so excited. But going back to my original point, we had gotten rid of a lot of his like probably 0 up to 6 month stuff, primarily clothes. Luckily, our bassinet and our swing, I had let my cousin borrow, so she just gave it back to us. But like clothes and stuff, like we don't have some of that stuff. Also, this is our first baby that we will have in this house. Not only in this house, but also not at my parents' house. Because with our first, I moved back home and stayed with my parents while my husband was deployed. And then with our second, we had sold our house in New Hampshire and we moved back to our hometown, and we were also staying with my parents. So there's just some things that we don't have because this is our first time in our house, and just kind of like thinking about how, you know, we're gonna do things in this house with a newborn. So going back to my original point, I am getting ready to go do some shopping today. Nick and I are we're driving 2 hours to go to Target. I want to hit some thrift stores, probably look at Old Navy for some baby clothes, things like that. My sister and my niece are going to be watching the kiddos. If you're wondering why I'm driving 2 hours to go to Target, that is because we don't have a Target in my hometown. I know. We don't have hardly anything in my hometown, which is why I haven't done much shopping. I mean, I have ordered stuff online, but like, I just like going and looking at stuff. So that's where we're going. Like I said, I do want to hit up some thrift stores as well. So we're going to be doing that today. Anyways, I'm going to finish getting ready. It's really hard to do my eyebrows while also talking and recording. So I'm going to turn this off and then we're going to head out. Just for the record, I did finish getting ready. Now, let's go.
So it's been a couple days since I filmed that last part because when we got back from shopping, I forgot that I had an Amazon order coming in, and then I did jump on Amazon and order a couple things that we couldn't find when we were out shopping. So I figured I'd just wait for those to come in and then show you guys everything that I got all at once. So this is a combination of things I ordered on Amazon, but then also things I had bought when we went out shopping. So like I said before, we have 2 boys already. There are a few things that we already have. Like we have the bassinet, we have the swing, we have a baby seat already, car seat, stroller, those types of things, like the bigger item type things. So I'm not going to show those since we already have them. You'll see those in future videos. I did also order, and they have come in, some stuff for the nursery. So like the crib, the mattress, the dresser. So the nursery, I'm going for kind of like a collected vintagey kind of feel. I do have a couple things in here that I'm going to show you guys for the nursery, like blankets and some decor pieces, but that big stuff for the nursery, you guys will have to wait until I film nursery tour and we get all that put together to see what I got for the nursery. So I'm going to show you guys what I got, and I'm going to kind of talk through some of the stuff too to kind of just explain why I got it and what I'm going to use it for. With this being our 3rd baby, there's just a couple things that I knew that I was going to want, and also thinking about how we were going to do stuff in this house because it's just set up a little bit differently than when we were staying at my parents. So there's just a couple things I knew I was going to want for this baby specifically. So let's get into it. Also, real quick, Valentine's Day was yesterday and Nick got me a new camera, so if the video and the sound is just like a little bit different than my last clip that I filmed, that's why. But anyways, let's jump into it. So first things first, let me show you some of the stuff that I got for the nursery because it's sitting right here, and I'm just so excited about the nursery. We still have not been able to get in there and actually start painting and everything, but we're close, we're close. But I got this. We're kind of going for like that vintagey collected vibe. I wanted to try to find one at any antique shop, but I couldn't find one locally, and I didn't know how long it was going to take me to find one, and they had these at Hobby Lobby, so I picked this up. It wasn't super expensive. It was 34 bucks, and it'll probably go on sale at some point. It wasn't on sale when I got it, but it'll probably go on sale at some point because Hobby Lobby does sales all the time. I also got this from Hobby Lobby, and it is just so adorable. Look at this little thing. Look at it. Along with going for that like vintagey vibe, I'm also doing some teddy bears in there because what screams vintage, old school baby boy nursery more than teddy bears? So I thought this was adorable. It was only 7 bucks, so I grabbed that. This I got at TJ Maxx. I'm not buying him a ton of toys because we already have 2 boys. We already have so many toys. And let's be real, newborns do not play with anything. I mean, you could use cups and they would be happy. I did get him this. I say I didn't get him any toys, but I did pick him up this. This is like the only toy I got him. It's just a mirror with like some high contrast stuff in it. Babies love high contrast. So I found this at Hobby Lobby, picked that up. And then going on the vintagey teddy bear theme, I ordered these from Amazon. These are crib sheets. Look at how precious that is. And then I also got a matching blanket. This is like a muslin blanket. It's so adorable. So adorable. It has this like fringy detail on the side. Now, whether I use this as an actual blanket for him or I just hang it on his little accordion hanger, I don't know. But I thought it was adorable. So I got these. These are both from Amazon. I'll link these down below. I have them on my Amazon storefront, so I'll link them down below. And then I did also pick up these crib sheets. So these are they're the mushy, extra soft muslin crib sheet. So they have like a few different colors in them. They're just stripes. But I love like muted colors. It's gonna go with his nursery as well, but I always like to have backup crib sheets. And then kind of on the nursery topic, even though I'll use this in our room before we use it in his nursery, I got him a sound machine. So we'll have this set up just on my nightstand while he's in here, and then I'll move it to his nursery. Listen, you do not need the most expensive sound machine out there. You do not need to go out and spend $50, $90, plus on a sound machine. All you need in a sound machine is white noise and maybe a couple different options to see what you like and what your baby likes, and a night light. Like, that is pretty much all that you need. You don't need all these extra different features. I've never felt like I was missing out because I don't have the most expensive sound machine. So I picked this sound machine up on Amazon. It does white noise, it has brown noise, whatever the differences are there. It has a night light, and it's totally fine. All of my kids have cheaper sound machines, totally fine. And then I also picked up this hamper. This was from Target. It's just whatever this material is called, fabric-y style hamper. I like these kind of hampers because I can just like easily carry it down the stairs into the basement to do the laundry. And then last thing, when it comes to like nursery, again, I'll probably use this in our bedroom before we bring him into the nursery, but I just picked up a trash can. So I decided not to get him a diaper pail because we have just a Diaper Genie diaper pail for our second, and the plan is to potty train him when he's around 2. So he'll be like 20 months old when the baby gets here. So I just didn't want to have 2 diaper pails in the house when he's likely going to be done with his fairly soon, within the next few months or so. So the plan is to just use a normal trash can that has a lid and opens and shuts till he's done with his diaper pail, so then I can just move that into the nursery and use that for him. Also, newborn baby diapers, they really don't smell that bad, to be honest with you, especially if they're breastfed. However, 18-month-old toddler diapers, those do stink. So I'm gonna keep the diaper pail in there. Just gonna use this for the baby for the time being, and then we'll swap those out. But the great thing about this is that we can use this in another room at some point when the baby's all done with it. Now, moving on to the changing station setup. Your baby's not gonna go into the nursery right off the bat. They're likely gonna be in your bedroom for at least a few months or so before you move them into the nursery. So I wanna have some sort of changing station in our bedroom, which that'll likely be my next video. That's what I'm thinking my next steps are gonna be when it comes to like getting stuff ready. But then I also wanna have a changing station down in our living room. I didn't do this with my last ones because my last 2 babies, like I said, I had at my parents' house. So everything was on one floor there. So like if I needed to change the baby, I would just go into the bedroom, change him, and then come back out. But because our house is split and all of our bedrooms are upstairs and then our living areas are on the main floor, I didn't want to have to come upstairs every single time I needed to change the baby, especially when I have 2 other kids that I have to take care of throughout the day as well. And I'm gonna have a changing station in our bedroom. So I picked up this, just a changing pad. I know changing pads, there's such a huge range when it comes to them. I mean, this one I got on Amazon for, I think it was like 40 bucks or something, but then there's some that are like $100+. I mean, do what you want to do, but like I wasn't going to be spending that much money on changing pad. And I am 100% changing pad on top of a dresser versus having a whole changing table, because the changing table they will grow out of, but a dresser you can use for them afterwards. So I've always just put a changing pad on top of the dresser. So my plan is to have a changing pad on top of my dresser in our bedroom, and that's where I will change him like during the night, and that'll kind of be like where his changing station is in our bedroom. But this I had picked up, it's just a cheap changing pad to put on the dresser. This is actually not for the baby. So this I'm gonna use for Maverick. I'm gonna use this for him, and I'm gonna take his changing pad and put that in the nursery. Reason being is because the changing pad I have in Maverick's room is one of those like basket ones, one of those like fabric baskets with the changing pad inside of it. It's super cute. I love it. It was great for us with him. However, he's getting big and he's outgrowing it, and he like hangs out the end of it. So this I figured would be good for him. So I'm gonna put this in his room, and then I'm gonna take his changing pad and put it in the nursery. Now, my plan for a changing station down in our living room is a pack and play. So we do have a pack and play already. We were not going to get a new pack and play. We were just gonna use the one that we had, which is actually from our oldest, so it's like 7 years old. We were just gonna use that one. Even though it didn't have one of the inserts that goes on top, like an actual changing mat on it, we were just gonna like change the baby on the couch or whatever. That pack and play, it does have the thing to like elevate the bed, but that's it. However, when we went to Target, this one was on sale. And this one has, you can see here, it has the 2 inserts that go on top of it. So there's the changing pad, and then it also has like a little, I don't know, bassinet seat, I guess, to go on top of it. And it was on sale. So we decided to go ahead and get it. It doesn't hurt to have an extra pack and play anyway. We can keep the other one at my parents' house because we do go over there a lot. This one we will set up in our living room, and I'll use this as our changing station down in the living room. And then I also picked up this diaper caddy. I've never had a diaper caddy before because I didn't need one. However, since I'm gonna have his changing station up here for nighttime, and then the pack and play down in the living room for during the day, I wanted to have something that I could bring back and forth. So this, I'm gonna load up with diapers, wipes, change of clothes, burp rags. I did also get Haka. I'll probably have that in here. Just things that I'm gonna need to change him, diaper creams, all that type of stuff. I'll have that in here, and then I can bring it downstairs during the day, and I can bring it back up at night. But I also picked up a changing mat. This is just, I think it's pronounced Ubi. I think it was like $5 or $6. It was cheap. It's just, you lay it out and you can change them. I got that just in case I needed it. I might end up putting this in the diaper bag. And then I also have just a bunch of different pacifiers. So this bag has all of like the pacifiers that Maverick has outgrown. Also, he didn't really like these ones. I kept them. We'll see if this baby likes them. I don't know. I honestly bought them because they were cute, but I don't know if they're super functional. But then I did also pick up one of the bibs pacifiers. These are the smallest size, like the 0+ month. So I just got one of them just to see if he's gonna like them because they are a little bit more expensive. So I just picked up one. And then I got this 2-pack of the Tommy Tippy ones, the 0 to 6 month pacifiers. And then I also found this at Target. It's just a little pacifier pouch. You can hook it onto your diaper bag. And then on the same topic of like changing station stuff, I did pick up some diapers because Target was running a deal where it was like, I think it was like $5 off if you spent 40 or more on diapers. I don't know, something like that. So I picked up some of those. I probably will eventually, probably once we run through these, I'll probably switch him to the Hello Bello diapers. I have the Hello Bello ones for Maverick, and we just have them on subscription. They come once a month. I love them. I like what they're made of. They're super cute. You also get discounts on like other Hello Bello stuff. And then you can also, they call them Bello Bucks, but you can also earn Bello Bucks like the more you spend. I'm gonna be buying diapers and wipes anyways, so it's nice to have like the option to like get the cash back, and then you can apply that to your order. So I'll probably switch them over to that, but I did just want to grab some diapers to start off with because these are the newborn ones. I don't know how much he's gonna weigh. You know, he might be in these ones for a while. He might be ready to go up to the next size like fairly soon. So I didn't want to get like a bunch of newborn ones if he wasn't going to be in them for a long time. I got the Millie Moon ones. I've never used these ones before. I've heard people talk about them, and I love that they're called Millie because we have a dog named Millie and it's spelled the same way. So it was cute. And then I did pick up a big pack of wipes too. Next, diaper bag. So I have a diaper bag for Maverick. I still use it. It's fine. It would have worked fine, but I wanted a new one. Actually, the zipper on his is broken, so like there's that, but there is 2 zippers, so like it's not a big deal. But I just wanted a new one. After using that one for 18 months, I don't love it. I wish it had a little bit more room in it. I don't love the look of it. It's been fine, totally fine, but I wanted a new one. So I got this one on Amazon. I know that there's like so many options when it comes to diaper bags, and I almost got sucked into spending like $200 on a diaper bag, but I just could not do it. I couldn't do it. Maybe if this was my first baby and I knew we were gonna have more and I knew I was gonna use it for a long time, maybe. But this might be our last baby, and I did not want to spend that much money on a diaper bag that I was only gonna be using for a short amount of time. But I went on Amazon and I found this one that I thought looked pretty comparable to those super expensive ones, but it was way more affordable. And I mean, I haven't used it yet. I will probably start using it here pretty soon for Maverick, and then once the baby gets here, I'll start using it for him too. But it looks like it's gonna be pretty roomy, and I really like it so far. First off, I love the look of it. It is a backpack one, which I prefer, and so does Nick. That was like my one stipulation when picking out a diaper bag from Nick, was that I had to get one that didn't make him look like a little girl carrying around a purse. So I was like, okay, this one's not too bad. Like, it's not too bad. But it is a backpack one, and it is pretty roomy inside. It did come with a changing mat, just like one that rolls up and then just have a pack of wipes with diapers in here, but has a ton of pockets, tons of different pockets and storage, which is what I'm looking for when it comes to a diaper bag, and it's a pretty good size. So pick this up. And then another thing that I'm really excited about is my new baby carrier. So this is the Mom Cozy one. Baby carriers are also something that can like range drastically in price. I've had baby carriers with my last two, didn't use it a whole lot with our first. Did use it a little bit with our second, but I just didn't love that baby carrier specifically. It just wasn't super comfortable. There's just a few things that I didn't love about it, but because this third one, I'm gonna have a 7-year-old and a 20-month-old, I just think I'm gonna be using a baby carrier a lot more, especially around the house. And I didn't wanna get a wrap because I wanted something that would be really quick and easy for me to put on myself, put it on quickly, put the baby in it, and be good to go. And I also find that the wraps don't grow as much with them like the buckle baby carriers do. This one specifically is for 7 to 44 pounds. Now, I don't foresee me carrying around a 44-pound, it's like how much my 7-year-old weighs. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be carrying that around. But it does also say 3 to 24 months. So I don't know, you can use it for a lot longer. This is what it looks like. I got it in this like oatmeal-y type of color, which I loved. It has the crisscross strap in the back, which is great. I tried putting this on when I got it, totally not thinking about the fact that I'm 8 months pregnant, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't buckle it, and I was like, oh yeah, I have a giant belly, that's why. But I just think that this one's gonna be a lot more comfortable than the one that I have. And then I picked this up at Target. This is the Love to Dream swaddle. My first two loved this swaddle. Neither of them like to be swaddled with like their arms down. They both like to have their arms up. And this makes your baby look so cute. When we were in Target, I was like, Nick, should we pick one of these up? He's like, absolutely. Those things make the baby look so cute. So my first two like this. So I got this for this one. This is a small. I only got one because typically what we'll do is the first couple weeks or so, we'll just swaddle the baby in just like a big muslin blanket, like one of those really big stretchy ones. We'll just swaddle him with the blanket. And then after a couple weeks, when he can get out of that, then we transition him to swaddle. So I figured get this, and then depending on how much he weighs, we'll get another one, or we'll just go up to the medium size and do that. Okay, so these next things are from a company called Kate and Lane. I'll link it down below. So first up is this little gown. It's so cute. I'm going more like dusty blues. And so I got him this little gown, and we'll tie the bottom in a knot. And then it came with this little hat, this little knot hat. So these will be used for his pictures that I do in the hospital, like his announcement pictures. And then I did also get him a blanket. I'm not gonna show the front of it because it has his name on it, and I don't wanna give away his name yet, but it's not even fun when you show like the backside of it. But it's a blue color, it's like a lighter blue, and then his name is written in like this darker blue color. You guys will just have to wait and see when I post my announcement when he gets here. Look how big this thing is. It's so big, it is gigantic. But my plan is to wrap like the bassinet that they have at the hospital, put the blanket with his name on the bottom, and then I'll have him in his little gown and hat. Now this next thing I got on Facebook Marketplace. This is the My Breast Friend nursing pillow. I picked this up because for one, I found it on Facebook Marketplace for $5. I don't love the casing on it, but like it was $5, so that's fine. I do have two boppies. They're 7 years old and they're a little like packed down. I just felt like this one would be a little bit more supportive. There's so much baby stuff that you can get on Facebook Marketplace. So if you are expecting, make sure you check Facebook Marketplace in your area. because you can probably find a lot of stuff on there. These next couple things are things that I got for myself. So this is gonna be my going home outfit. I found this at TJ Maxx, so I can't link it unfortunately, but it is so comfy. Like the material is so soft. I really like loose stuff after I have the baby because for one, I have my C-section scar. I don't want anything tight against that. But two, I do not like wearing tight leggings or anything tight with a big diaper, like giant pad. I always like to have baggy stuff to wear afterwards. These are the pants that I'm gonna wear home. And then it came with this matching sweatshirt. So it's a sweatshirt, it has a hood, but it's not super thick. I do not like nursing in super thick tops because when you nurse, you're gonna roll your shirt up and you think of like all of that fabric that's there. It's all tucked under your chin when you're trying to like nurse your baby. I don't like it. So I like to wear thinner things, but I also want to be warm. This will be my going home outfit. And then I picked these pants up at Target. I was gonna get more pajamas, but they were all like shorts or like crop tops or I don't know, just like nothing that I wanted. Couldn't find any, but I found like these pants. These are gonna be really comfortable for afterwards. This I got at TJ Maxx, but this I'm gonna be using for my hospital bag. It's just a toiletry bag, but it's one that hangs, which is what I really wanted because most hospitals don't have like a whole lot of counter space like in the bathroom. So I wanted something that I could hang up, put all of our toiletries in. And then I picked this up. So this will be for the nursery, but I'm also gonna be bringing it to the hospital. It's just a super comfy blanket. I didn't bring a blanket with my last two to the hospital and I survived, but like the hospital blankets are like sheets, like they're nothing. So I figured I'm gonna bring a blanket this time. I'll use it at the hospital and then this will probably go in his nursery afterwards. But just a super comfy blanket, got it at TJ Maxx. And then really the last things that I have are just clothes. So the clothes are something that I did give away pretty much up to like 6 months, which is honestly fine because I love buying baby clothes more than I love buying clothes for myself. They're just so adorable. There's always new things coming out. And so I'm honestly not too mad about it, but really the last things I have are clothes. And I'm not gonna go through and show you every single thing, but a couple things I do wanna show you. So when we were out shopping, we stopped at a thrift store and I got quite a few baby clothes at the thrift store. Some of these have never even been worn before. They don't look like they've been worn before. But I got a couple pair of pants, a couple pair of just like PJs. I cannot get over how small newborn baby clothes are. Like, this is my third baby and I'm still not over it. I think more so because I have to. I just think about the fact that like my 7-year-old was this small at one point. Ugh. I could get emotional about it. But I got these few things from the thrift store, which I thought was fantastic because they were all, like this one was $2 and it's like brand new. And it's from, this is Carter's. So you can find a bunch of cute baby clothes at the thrift store. Now a couple other things I'll just mention are PJs. My babies will probably live in PJs for the first little bit because they're just easy to change them in. They're going to be changing your baby a lot. They're going to be napping a lot. Like, you don't want to put your baby in uncomfortable clothes because they're going to be napping most of the day. So mine tend to live in just PJs at the beginning, but I also can't justify spending like $30+ on a pair of pajamas for a baby. I know that some moms out there are absolutely obsessed with buying their babies those extremely expensive bamboo pajamas. And I get it. They're adorable. They're soft. They're cute. What those moms will always say is like, well, they can grow with them because they're really stretchy. Yeah, but like they're not going to last them 2 years. Like they're going to last them a few months. And I mean, I'm not telling you how to spend your money. Go out, buy those if that's what you want to do. Me personally, I cannot justify spending that much money on a pair of baby pajamas. So instead, I love, these are actually from Walmart. They're the brand Modern Moments. I think it's like a newer brand at Walmart. I've gotten a few things for Maverick from that brand there, but their PJs are so, they're so similar to like those bamboo PJs, but for like a fraction of the price. These I think are typically like $10, but they had them on clearance for $7. So I picked up a few of these PJs. This is the newborn. And then these ones, just another option. I got these ones at Target and these are the Cloud Island brand. But again, it has that same kind of like bamboo-y feel. They're also like super stretchy and they'll grow with them. But again, fraction of the price. Like these were $15 for a 2-pack. But I got a couple packs of those. These are 0 to 3 month. I got more 0 to 3 month clothes Then I did pick up like a few newborn ones. I just don't know how big he's gonna be when he comes out, and I didn't want to overbuy. I feel like I did a pretty good job at not overbuying when it comes to clothes for him. I just didn't want to have like an excessive amount of clothes laying around and then have him not wear most of them. But I'm not gonna go through and show you every single piece of clothes. I got a pack of socks because I have a bunch of socks left over from my first. I found them like in a bin somewhere. But most of them are like ankle socks. I don't know who is out there making ankle socks for babies, but like us moms don't want ankle socks. What we want are socks that come up to their kneecaps so that they don't fall down and they don't kick them off. So I picked some of these up and I'm hoping that they work. But then this bag is just all full of like 0 to 3 month. So I have some newborn, mostly sleepers, and then I have some 0 to 3 month, and I think it's a good starting point. I haven't washed them yet. As you can see, most of them are still on the hangers. They still have their tags, and I'm not gonna wash them yet because the nursery is not done. I do have the dresser, and I could wash them and put them away in the dresser if I wanted to, but I'm gonna wait a little bit just because if we can get the nursery done in the next couple of weeks, then I'll probably just put them all away when we put the dresser into the nursery. But if we do start to get a little bit down to the wire and it hasn't been done yet and I need to get things put away, then I will probably wash them and put them away. But like I mentioned earlier, our next step I think is going to be getting together our changing stations, the one for in the living room and then the one for our bedroom. So that will likely be my next nesting video as we continue preparing for baby number 3. But I hope you enjoyed this. I know I love seeing things that people buy for their babies. I don't know what it is, but baby stuff's so cute and I just love seeing things that people picked up. I hope you were able to take away some tips from all of this as well. We still have quite a few things left to do. Biggest thing is getting the nursery done. I feel like I've said that a gazillion times, but still have quite a few things left to do. I do still have quite a bit of time, but it does feel really, really good to just check these things off the to-do list. I'm trying to take full advantage of the energy that I have now because I know it's not going to be the case in a couple of weeks. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed the video and I hope you choose to stick around, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.